So you've probably heard that the new version of macOS Monterey finally includes the Shortcuts app, which previously was only available on iOS. This is pretty exciting because you can now create and share shortcuts from your Mac with your iOS device. So I wanted to give a quick walkthrough of what a shortcut could look like and share one of my favorites. When you first open up the Shortcuts app, you'll see this gallery view, which is a fun way to browse some of the shortcuts that Apple has created and featured, which can give you a good sense of what's possible. So one of my favorite things to use shortcuts for is to create a quick note and have a way to quickly enter text. So now with shortcuts available on the Mac, I'm able to add a menu bar item that I called Create a Quick Note. That when I click, basically gives me a text box to enter in a quick note. And the way I have this set up is once I submit that text, I choose from a list of menu items where to save it. So I'm going to save this to my inbox. And so from there, it's saved. And if I go same from my iPhone, so I have a shortcuts button right here that says Quick Note that if I tap, gives me the same pop-up box. And so if I save that, and I will also add that to my inbox. So you can see it pops up and we'll have that available right in Craft on my iPhone. And if I go back and take a look, it should show up in Craft on my Mac as well. So let's take a quick look at what this shortcut looks like. And I'm going to walk through this and then we're going to create a simple shortcut together so you can see what the process is like. So here under Create a Quick Note, you can see the very first thing I have is a text box or a text action. And inside of there is a variable that says ask each time. So if I right click on this on my Mac, I can insert a variable. And one of those variables is ask each time. So you can also insert a variable that was the output of a previous action as well, which is kind of what we're doing a little bit later. So next we have a menu where I created several options here for inbox, to-dos, today, ideas, and YouTube. And shortcuts will automatically create a place to add actions for each menu item that will run when it's selected. So you can see on inbox, I have it adding this text, so the text that was entered above, to my inbox. And this is in the note-taking app Craft. And you can see a few options like whether you want to add it the beginning or the top. And so you can see this is pretty simple to do and you can customize it exactly the way that you want it. So the great thing about shortcuts is that each person is going to have their own way that they would want to organize their notes or whatever your shortcut does. And this lets you create the way that you would want to do it just for yourself. So now we're going to create a quick shortcut action and walk through the steps to do it. So here in the main Shortcuts app, I'm going to click on this plus button, and that's going to open up a shortcut in a new window. And here's what that shortcut looks like. So at first, it's completely blank. And so I'm going to recreate something similar, and I'm going to search here for text. And let's see what we want to do. So I'm actually just going to drag in the text box here. And I'm going to right click on the text entry here. And you could also type in just plain text. And this is a great way to set up a template for your notes. But I'm going to right click on here and select ask each time. So that's going to ask you to enter text. And it works on every device that you have shortcuts set up on. And so now let's add this to the popular note-taking app Bear. So if I search Bear, I can see the app right here, as well as a bunch of actions that it supports. So not every app supports shortcuts, but many of the best do, and more are being added all the time. So all I need to do here is just drag add to Bear Note. And actually, I'm going to create a new note for this. So I'm going to say, let's create a new Bear Note. And so you can see it already pulled in this text variable from above. But if for some reason it didn't, you could just right click. And if you press select magic variable, you could actually, which I'll do right now, you can actually just select this text right there. And so for the note title, I'm also going to right click and I'm going to set it to the current date. And there's some options there about how you want that date to show up, but I'm just going to leave it at the default one. And if you click Show More, you'll see some other options like adding tags. I'm going to leave those blank for now as well. And this is really all you need to do. So this is a working, simple shortcut that if I press this Run button, will ask me for some text and then add it right into Bear. A great way to just browse and see what apps you have installed already that support shortcuts is to go here under Apps, and you can just browse through and very quickly see what apps support shortcuts and what actions they will let you do. So shortcuts is very simple and very powerful. It's a great way to both save time and create really nice workflows that are designed exactly the way that you want them to be. So once you have a shortcut set up the way that you'd like, if you go here under the Settings tab, you could see you could pin this to the menu bar, which is the easiest way to have it handy on your Mac. If you open up shortcuts on an iOS device, like on your iPhone, everything will stay in sync, so you'll see all your shortcut actions show up. And there will be a button there that says Add to Home Screen, and that will create a app icon similar to the one that I showed earlier. So that's a brief overview of shortcuts. Hope this inspires you to play around with it because it's really exciting, and it's great that it's now on the Mac where it is very easy to set up shortcuts and have your Mac work exactly the way that you like it.